Hello, and welcome. Today I'm going to be going over a pretty comprehensive guide over the any percent no codes category for Whiplash on PS2. This run also does apply to Xbox, but there is some differences between the versions, mainly because Xbox has texture streaming and things load in differently. Load times are a little bit different. Xbox is the faster way to play, but personally on my own, since we can't use emulator is not stable, and I don't have an actual console, I cannot confirm that myself. So at this point, PS2 I have down at 18 minutes and 1 second. Not currently verified, but it should be going on the leaderboard soon. I believe a high 16-minute time is possible, so maybe like 1640s or maybe even less depending on your RNG. But before we get into this, I am going to go and make a new save. This menu can be a little awkward to navigate if you don't know the buttons, but I'm going to create a profile, save data to memory card, then it will start the intro. And I'm going to let the intro play out, but if you are on emulator, specifically PCSX2, I know that the F4 button will fast forward. But I'll let this sit and we'll come back whenever we actually get into gameplay.
Genron. Admit it, life is boring. Reality doesn't cut it. Doesn't your everyday routine just sap your soul? Don't you wish life had more zest, more verve, more, I don't know, elan? Well, now there's meaning to your awkward existence. The Genron Corporation. Genron is dedicated to bringing you the most exciting products this side of your face. No idea is too grand. No technology too advanced. We're about you. All about you. Look, just look. Isn't that fantastic? And what about this? Doesn't that make you smile a big one? But how in the name of science do we do it? Lean in close. The secret is animals. Yes, animals. You often see them wandering the streets, bored and penniless, crapping all over your station wagon. And though they seem hopelessly dumb, we here at Genron overlook their lack of previous job experience and put them to work in our factory, testing the latest in our amazing line of products. And if that doesn't work, we merge them into new and improved animals in our genetic recombinator. Using this machine, which you have no hope of ever understanding, we can combine two animals into one. Can you imagine a weasel rabbit? Don't you love it? Say you love it. Genron. Oh my God, get away from that!
We're out. I can't believe it. We're out! That guy! That guy!
So we are going to be getting back to gameplay here in a minute. Just a little background. Whiplash was made in 2003 by Crystal Dynamics and Eidos. They are still the current game producers for the Lara Croft series, but they've also produced games like Vex and the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver series. But now that we're actually in game, as soon as we get into the pipe here, we can go ahead and allocate our hyper snax, because in this game you can either allocate a certain percentage of your hyper snax to go to either of your characters or sit in reserve pool. Generally speaking, applying levels to Spanx is going to give you more health, and applying levels to Redmond is going to give you more damage output. So for the speed run, since we're trying to do it as fast as we can, we're going for the highest damage output, which is what the whole run kind of goes around. A lot of it is dependent on how many hyper snax and how much XP you have when you get to the final boss to do a certain amount of damage. So once we have this allocated to 100%, go ahead and back out of here and go to save, and this will save our data to that slot. And then we'll want to go ahead and back out to the menu. Now, I've already done this and I have a bunch of copies, but you can do it just the same. Just go here, select, and go down to whatever slot you want, then copy and save data. That way you have a backup of it so that you can copy over to the first slot whenever you need to, because the first slot is your quick save slot, your quick start slot. So if you're using live splits, I'll have in the description the times needed for emulator versus consoles. There's different times for emulator and console for PS2 and Xbox for each versions. So that might be something you have to play with on your own as well, because it is dependent upon hardware. So, but whenever you start a run, typically I'll have the native countdown timer, and I'll just press confirm, or do the same from the quick start menu and start the run right as I press confirm. But for this instance, I'm not using live splits. So go ahead and start the run. And before we get into anything, I'm actually going to skip ahead and show you a little bit of the basics of movement in this game. This game is, I would say linear, but it's not very linear. So movement is still going to be a really big thing in this game. This is your normal speed. If you're running, you'll notice the green stamina bar going down. You want to preserve that, because then once you go down, you won't be able to sprint again. You'll be stuck in this kind of stunned state as you're trying to crawl. So stamina preservation is going to be a big thing. If you're in the air, you're not using stamina, so that's always good. So if you're getting low, you can always jump a couple times and regain a little bit of stamina here and there. So that does work out, but it is something that you will have to manage. Another really big thing in this game is going to be your triple jumps. This does take a little bit to get used to, but you are going to, on either one, I'll just say it as commands. You're going to jump, light attack, and heavy attack, all within about 10 frames. Like, it's a pretty forgiving window. So if you do those, it'll look like that. You won't see the heavy attack, but what the heavy attack is doing is resetting your grounded state in the air. So if you do that and then double jump directly after that,
You're a weasel of few words and even fewer sane actions.
you actually do a triple. This is a pretty good area to practice it. You can triple jump up to these lights. Another really big thing for movement in this game is going to be the speed glitch. You can get it off of a lot of your breakable stuff. Any of the breakable stuff that can regenerate, or if it's like NPCs, But what you'll see is this blue circle if you're trying to hit it after it's broken. Otherwise, you'll see that orange circle. But if you have that blue circle, it's actually this type of aim assist in this game. And for whatever reason, if you just stand here, spam your heavy attack, and then scurry, that will end up giving you a bunch more speed. And you can actually go really, really fast with it.
I don't suppose you would stop if I told you how painful this was. Didn't think so.
But again, you'll have to manage your stamina. The good thing though, and I'll demonstrate.
You're a bad mixer.
If you do run out of stamina, this will actually... Come on.
So that's your whole plan? Mindless destruction? That's it? No cunning subterfuge? Just needless maniacal crazy chaos? Oh well, I was on my way to the Recombinator anyways. Hey, this is just like water ski, except it's on
Let me just
concrete
run
and
out of
flat on my
stamina
back,
and
and it's
show
really
you.
painful!
But you wouldn't be able to run. But you can still use this and go a little bit faster
Not a core mechanic.
if you're out
Okay.
of stamina. So that's always good to know. Other than that, there isn't really too much big movement stuff that can really help you, other than maybe using a heavy attack to like save yourself if you're like falling below a ledge or
I'd say we
something.
take a break from all this breathless destruction and just, you know,
So
get to know each other.
that's pretty much it. So I will jump back and we will start the run. So immediately starting this run, we're going to be faced with almost an immediate out of bounds. So you're going to jump on top of here, and this does slide up on top of here, and it's a little bit awkward because the camera wants to flip around. But as long as you do this in one fluid motion, even if you have to jump here again and then triple over, jump over and go to your left slightly, pushing forward, and you'll land down in this vent. You can happen to land in the vent that's on the other side, which you'll just have to run around here and come up, which is no big deal. But I'll go ahead and do that again because I want to show you before this all loads. So otherwise, if this is loaded, you'll get stuck with a cutscene and a text box.
In the name of science!
So we're going to skip that. I want to make sure because it gave me a checkpoint there. So I'll reload my save. Spawn in, jump up to the pipe, triple jump out of bounds, and just go straight and a little bit to the left. Kind of follow the curve of the pipe. If you fall through, you can just restart. There's no checkpoint here, so you can always just go straight into quick start and start it right over again. I still do miss this on occasion, so. So you can, if you get through here fast enough, it won't load, but you can run through and kill these guys. If you hit him fast enough before he even loads in, it'll actually just straight up one-shot him, and you'll spew out snacks before the whole level's even started. But what you mainly want to do is ensure that you have the most amount of snacks you can get between these first 3 or 4 NPCs, because that's going to be the majority of your snacks for this run. 4 was really good for this first one. So we'll go ahead and jump across here. Now, there is a text box, which I'll show you. It's right past this third line here. You can re-trigger them though if you walk back through. But if you jump over to the side here, you won't trigger that text box and you can just jump around. Alternatively, you can jump straight over. Sometimes. Oh, but you can jump over or you can jump around it. Here, you can either take the swings or you can jump onto these grates, which are safe. But as soon as you walk onto the tiles, you will get shocked. Here, you're going to kill this guy. And typically, I'll run for the most amount of snacks I can get early game. So I'll hit this lever, which respawns him. You have to be careful because these monkeys will throw nuclear shit at you. Once you collect your snacks, you can actually get the speed glitch, as you see that blue circle off of the NPC. And then you're going to line up and head straight for the center of that vent. If you do it good enough, you'll actually skip the text box because your speed, you have to be there for a certain amount of time within the text box range for it actually to show. So if you go fast enough through it, it's not going to show the text box.
You're a weasel of few words and even fewer sane actions.
Which I failed. Just for principle. Wait till this is
There's gotta be a better way. Not sure what it is.
Now
see, skip that. This one, I have been able to skip this one before, but it's very, very rare. I think there's some sort of way to jump around it, but I haven't been able to find. This guy pretty much always spawns in this corner. I'll pretty much look here first. If not, I'll spawn over here. There's a couple different ways of doing this room though. You can either collect the fire, which is the way I do it. You can go that way. And just go through the door like normal. You can also jump on top of here. And if you get a perfectly timed triple up through that red box in the ceiling here, you can land on top of this pipe. Which I'm not sure if I'll be able to do, but we'll try. Almost. But you can also do it from up on this pipe. But you do have to be careful because there is a weird death plane. If you hit the death plane, it spawns you over here above the level, which has no real effect for use in the game since there's no collision mostly outside the map.
Oh, and I thought being stamped with makeup was degrading.
But just something to note. Yeah, you can jump from right here and jump straight over to the pipe in the corner over here, up on the top. If you do that, you can just jump straight into the next room without having to interact with this guy or interact with the text box and having to do this cutscene. But I prefer this because you can speed glitch through here, which is honestly the fastest way. If you do have speed glitch, your best way is to go and do the AoE with the mice here, and then you can zero cycle through the door before it closes. Alternatively, if you lose the speed glitch or don't have the speed glitch, you could just do that mice AoE trick, or you can scurry up this ramp and triple directly up into the room above. You can also triple onto these pipe and jump up this way. And then hit the lever, and that'll open the door. If you were to jump on that pipe in the previous room, you can actually jump up onto the pipe that runs along the top of this room and run all the way across. But it is kind of slow because of the way the movement works on that pipe. It's not meant to be walked on. But I can show you that here. This is also another way of skipping this room. You can just triple up to the pipe and then jump over into the next room here. Which is all just to skip this fuse box and having to run up and hit the lever the normal way. But once you get through there, if you did the mouse trick, you can keep a speed glitch going all the way through here and all the way down. Otherwise, you can grab your speed glitch again from this glass and run through this text box. And if you're fast enough, you can actually get speed glitch here too, but usually the room blocks you from doing so because of the camera. I don't know why. You can get snacks from this guy if you really need to, but we're good on snacks right now. Alternatively, you can throw aroma mice from here or from here and hit the lever. You can also triple jump up on top of here and jump straight over the door that way. I jumped onto the door. But there's a couple ways of doing that.
The rules of the hunt have changed. These are not the fields.
The old way of getting up here was jumping on the light and then jumping around.
Destroy his stuff.
But we also found you can just triple jump over this wall. And there's a little bit of collision you can walk on. You have to jump here so you don't fall through the crack right there. And then we are into appliances. We'll showcase, actually. Now this is all just pretty much running. I like to you don't want to hit these lasers for one, but I like to triple jump my way through here to maximize the amount of air time so I can save my stamina. If you are low on health, you can jump here and grab health. But I'm trying to save stamina so that when we get here, we can grab speed glitch from this sign. Because there's glass on the sign. And if you speed glitch right towards this glass, from anywhere over here, you will bypass a cutscene for the robot, the Robo Weasel.
Reap the whirlwind, Genron, reap it!
It's just to show you it's that cutscene. And if you do it really good, wait for this alarm to stop.
Where's the compassion?
I'm trying to show you what an optimal way is, otherwise I'll just throw in a little clip.
No more leprosy for me.
What do you say we take a break from all this breathless destruction and just, you know, get to know each other?
Come on. I don't know why it's giving me the sweep attacks.
You're a weasel of few words and even fewer sane actions.
Yeah, you don't want to hit the lasers or it'll get rid of your speed glitch. Usually getting hit by an enemy will also do it too. But if the laser is blue, it'll just trigger the alarm, which doesn't hurt you. It just triggers the alarm. You're safe. If you're fast enough, you can go all the way through there. Otherwise, you can stop here, regain the glitch, and speed glitch across before the door closes. You can also just kill this, which won't allow the door to close anymore. And you can also get the speed glitch from this.
You're a weasel of few words and even fewer sane actions.
Alternatively, the old way was going like this. Jumping to the light and jumping from light to light to get over these pressure plates. I'll show you this way as well. This is a newer way. Go ahead and make a save state. But if you triple jump up, I like to do it from the second line whenever the door is down. If you triple jump up from here and just go straight towards this area, and then heavy strike to the right, you'll land back in bound.
So that's your whole plan. Mindless destruction, that's it. No cunning subterfuge, just needless maniacal crazy chaos? Oh well, I was on my way to the Recombinator
Something
anyways.
like that. But that is also a newer way Crimmy found. By the way, if you're to be flying down here with your speed glitch,
So that's your whole plan. Mindless
you'll
destruction,
notice you might
that's
get a
it. No
lot
cunning subterfuge, just needless maniacal
off of
crazy
this
chaos?
door if you jump.
Oh well, I was on my way to the Recombinator anyways.
Sometimes it can actually just fling you straight over the door.
Nice job. Did you ever have a plan that didn't use me as a war
I mean,
base?
have speed glitch. But because this is slanted and there's a slight grounded point here, your triple jumps actually go a lot higher if you push up against that wall. So you can jump up to this light, and from here you're going to want to jump right over into this little pocket of darkness right here next to the wall. There should be a standing point. You might have to turn the camera just to fix the yeah. The camera is kind of weird sometimes. If you do happen to go inbounds or hit the trigger and get in here, you can triple jump up on top of this kiosk and then just jump straight through the corner here. And then it'll just get you right back to this spot. Now here you'll notice there'll be a drop down like right about the start of the railings here. And then you can walk under. You can get a speed glitch from either hitting him or hitting the glass, which will get you through this area pretty fast. If you go up to the door right now, you'll end up hitting a progression trigger. But if you come up here and jump in the corner, typically you wouldn't get this progression trigger, which you have to wait for it to rack up all of your XP. So we can run through, skip this cutscene, and pretty much for all this stairs section, pretty much always I'm using triple jumps. Like always triple jumps in this game. Unless it's some sort of really basic jump. But I like to jump from here to this ledge and then basically do the same up to this top ledge. And I do that for pretty much every stair set. You can triple jump from here over those lasers and you barely make it, but it's not really optimal. I like to jump up here. You can jump on the lamps to get around. From here, I'll triple jump so I make sure to miss these guys, and I'll double over this just so I make sure that I don't get hit by him. And the same goes here, just run. I like to use these lamps in the corners. I'm talking, so I'm also not triple jumping every jump here, but I triple jump this all the time. If you have speed glitch still, speed glitch through this area is actually really good if you hug the outer wall. You don't need to grab this health. Here you'll probably want to hit your live split.
Now entering main hub.
And
As always, please refrain from antagonizing.
I'm going to show you the first way. I usually don't do this because I don't need the snacks that are up there and it's a little bit slower, but I will show you this method regardless. Since we saved here, if we go ahead and log out and then log back into the same save, there'll actually be extra snacks in this area. So now there's extra snacks up there. So if you're going this route and you needed the extra snacks, you would triple jump up here. I like to turn the camera left, just because whenever you scurry, it's going to pull your camera right. You're going to make sure you're up towards the very top of it, because you notice this is kind of slanted. I'm going to make sure on the very top of the collision, camera left, and then triple jump up to your right. You should land up here. It's a little tricky to get. It's going to take you a couple tries the first time you do it. But from here, there's a couple different ways. You either go from here and grab speed glitch.
Nice job.
And run around and get your glide ability down there. The way I used to do it if I was using this route was just run from here, triple, try to land on the belt, and if you run up towards the top here, right as you hit this peak, if you jump, you actually get a boost. And that'll let you land up here to get this snack. You can jump around and grab this snack. And then from here, we're going to go and get our glide ability. I will quickly grab a speed glitch by hitting this sign. Skip this cutscene and text. And from here, with the speed glitch, I try and aim just to the right of the sign here and then jump left into the vent and turn my camera with it. It is kind of buggy to do this sometimes if you're doing this way. You can get straight up there without having to use glide, but it is very, very rare that that happens.
I'm a rat, not a core mechanic. Okay?
Come on.
Oh, make it stop! Please make it stop!
Almost. Oh well, you can just normally Jump up this and glide over.
Take advantage of today's lunch
If
special.
it'll let you.
Tender chunks of pancake chocolate mousse, only $2.99.
Yeah, it'll push you over. Little oddity to show you. If you're to press scurry here, there's actually a rail here, but for whatever reason they added a texture streaming tag to it, so it doesn't show up in this version. But the collision is still here, which is kind of odd. I'm showing this way if we're showing the method of doing it out of bounds here. Alternatively, instead of taking that, you can jump up the save, which is quite a bit hard. And I don't think it saves time. I haven't done this in a minute.
Tell me, have I wronged you in some way I'm unaware of?
It's a really hard jump.
Oh, wait till PETA hears about this.
You can go like that and get up. You can also, from either side, go up to these lights and jump up onto the walkway. I'll show you if I'm going up this way. I'll typically just go here, run to this corner, go straight here. If you do a triple jump and press forward just the slightest, it'll land you on the other side of this wall. There's a little bit of room to walk around here, but it's better if you're further away from this pillar. It's only half of a pillar. You can't land inside of this, so you have to jump around, and there is no space on the corner. So your best bet is just jump around from here, and if you land right here, this whole space right here is safe. Even if you wedge yourself into this corner, you're still going to be out of bounds. One thing to note is if you're going to be doing a triple jump here, it's going to turn your camera. So I try and aim our camera pretty much like this, just so he's right on the side of it. And before it moves, you're going to want to triple jump and just glide ability over to that far corner. You might have to turn your camera to work with it. I'm surprised I did that. See, we're still out of bounds. So from here, all you got to do is jump from here past this second line. And then there's pretty much this collision right here that's in a shape of like a U, kind of. But it'll run like one tile length out, pretty much like bordering this section, and then follows this right up until about here. So I'll jump around. And as you can see, you can run around all this, but if you were to go in between them, I'll show you with the save state, you will fall through at a certain point. So pretty much when I land anywhere past this second line, if I walk any further, I fall off. I will jump from here, and I'll jump towards this pillar. Now you want to make sure you don't go inbounds, so make sure you land like over here. And then from here, you're going to land down here once more, and then we're going to do one more jump to the corner. You can see there's only about a player width of leeway here to mess with, and it gets a little bit skinnier towards the end. You can walk this if you want, but I usually just jump and land right in the corner because this will save you, this wall. And then from here, you're just going to jump to this other spot. And then jump to the right. If you're to jump to the left, you'll hit a progression screen, and that could actually cause your input to drop, and you'll just fall into the void down here below. So jump to the right, and then you can ride the elevator. I'll show that again. I'll show it all the way. Just tap forward just to barely get over. You can always go back inbounds, or you can always try using this by spamming triangle, and it'll pull you back inbounds. And you'll just jump straight into there. There's also one other method for doing this, and there's, well, actually two different ways of getting there. First method would be using the AoE from your robo-mice. And if you're standing here in the corner, you can throw your robo-mice, and it'll actually destroy the computer here after 10 robo-mice. And then you'll be able to use this helium. Alternatively, you could use Jaxler's old method of going the right side of the door. And then jumping down here. And locking out the computer and accessing Helium that way. So the other skip for this area is using this Helium. It's about 15-20 seconds slower, something like that. Maybe about half a minute slower doing this. You're going to aim towards the elevator here and get right up between the edge. And if you do it just right, you'll actually go right through the collision. And if you're holding slow, just hold forward. And then once you get above the elevator right now, you can drop. And then glide just to make sure you don't fall back inbounds, and then you can use the elevator. I'm going to demonstrate something here. There's always a load zone in here in these elevators, and it will respawn you back to the center. You saw it for a split second. Luckily I have a save. See, it spawns you back at the center before it actually does the cutscene typically. Depending on how much time you take in the area, the next area might not have to load as much or as quick. And that'll cause the cutscene, like how it just did for me that first time, to just blast right through. But typically you will have a point where you'll be able to stand right after it respawns you. If you jump out this left side, you can actually land out of bounds. It only works on this left side. There's collision on the left side, but there's no collision over there. So you have to use this left side. And as long as you stay under any sort of stuff above you, you'll be okay. You can run along here. And once I get about here, a triple jump to here, and triple jump, triple jump, triple jump. So jump here, we'll do the same around this edge. This is the same thing, but you won't see this ledge on the other side of the wall here. Just gotta trust it. And then we'll jump to this final one. You can just jump around. Make sure you don't go back inbounds here. Jump around. Also make sure you don't go inbound. And once you get up here, I'll try and demonstrate this way. You want to jump and land on the back side of this pipe. You do have to note that you have to jump out far enough that you get around this barrier, which ends like right about here. Kind of hard to show in 3D space, but you have to basically. I follow jump out this way and then jump right. I follow this edge. But you do have to be careful that you don't jump up through this, because that'll push you back inbounds. But you also have to make sure that when you're doing your triple jumps, let me go back down here and show. You want to make sure when you do your little animation cancel before your second two jumps, you want to make sure that on that second jump, right after the animation cancel, you want to make sure that you're on solid ground. If you're off solid ground, it's going to completely drop that input and you're not going to actually jump. You're just going to fall straight over the edge. So typically, if you're going to want to maximize your distance, you're going to jump up and then jump out. But for this area, it's kind of awkward because you want to make sure you're on the edge. Of course, I fail. I guess we'll do it again. You want to make sure you're right on the edge just so you don't have to clip inbound. This is something I found about a month ago, so it's still pretty new. It's definitely a lot easier than doing a old keycard skip, which was kind of a gatekeeper for this run. I'll still be going through that and showing you that as well, because I found some new stuff with that too, which might compete with this method for times. Alright, so we'll triple jump, glide, and we're gonna land, try and land on the backside of this pipe. Which didn't work. Alright. I'll show you on the other side when we do that. If you were to come in bounds though, you can jump up here or on any of these instruments and triple jump up to the top of the ball. You want to make sure that when you're triple jumping that you're not too close to the ball, because your light and heavy attacks and your glide attack will all hit the globe, and each hit will knock it lower and lower, ultimately allowing you not being able to do this next jump. So if you jump up top, little jumps are usually okay, it's not going to do anything. But get as high as you can towards this door. I usually try and stand on that lighter colored line, the circle up top here. You just want to do a really big triple and just try and get over that far back wall. And I failed. I'm used to doing this in like one fluid movement. You can heavy hit if you need to get over the wall. As long as you land on top here, you're okay. If you land on the sides, just start jumping, because otherwise you'll just start sliding off of it. It's pretty awkward. Any movement you do, you'll end up going down with the movement. So you gotta be careful. And then all you need to do is jump in either the left or right side and get into the red room, and you can click the elevator. If you jump into the actual elevator, you'll hit the elevator cutscene, which will spit you back out in the red room, and then you'd have to get back in the elevator again, kind of wasting some time. But I'm going to go ahead and show the other way you would do this. If you didn't manage to get the enough time to be able to jump out, or if you died or something trying to do the out of bounds glitch, you're going to want to run this way, triple up on top of these cages, and then you can jump up onto this. Just imagine there's a big slope right here, and just as that other slope on the elevator back here, anytime you do any sort of movement, even if you're trying to walk up, it's going to be pushing you down. You want to make sure that you're not moving when you're on this, or else it'll just keep pushing you down. For this trick, I like to align Spanx right about here, just below this second line. And what I'm looking for is a full max height triple jump. There is a little bit of leeway with this, like it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but you want to make sure that you maximize the amount of time that you do between your second and your third jumps, and even your first jump. There's little cues that I look for this. So if you let this go to neutral camera, don't use your camera, and just push down until you're just below this line, you're gonna do a triple jump. Your first jump is gonna barely hit your head on the ceiling, which is actually slanted. It's ever so slanted upwards. So you'll actually slide this way because of the momentum pushing you up. It's going to squeeze you over the edge. At the same time, you're going to be jumping slightly to the right, like kind of like this direction for your first jump. So it'll be something like that. Your second jump, you'll know you get it right if you get the head hit on the first jump, and then your second jump is just past the edge right here. That way your second jump is jumping vertical. And then your third jump is going to be your correction or your control. And what you're going to do is try and land right up about here. Right in this metal area. There's a little stand spot. So I'm going to jump out to the right slightly. Jump over and land right about here. The old way of doing this was dropping down to this area and then doing that jump like we were doing on the other side and jumping around to the pipe or jumping inbounds. But I found recently you could stand here and then do a scurry triple directly onto the top of this pipe. Sorry, camera keeps moving on its own. It'll start going into like idle animation. But we're gonna jump on top of this pipe. And then as long as you jump anywhere over here on this top section, it's gonna be out of bounds. Like this is still out of bounds. And then from here, we're just gonna triple and glide, and usually I can just glide straight in. Just like that. Alternatively, from that spot up on top of the do I have a load state? Yeah, I do. Oh, I can actually show you from here. Just as the other side, if you were to land on the back side of this pipe, you'll still be slightly inbounds and out of bounds. And if you triple jump from here and just jump across here up to this area, you'll still be out of bounds. And then you can go ahead and jump to the elevator that way as well. But the other way that I found recently too is you can just jump directly over the wall. And from here, you can just triple directly over this direction, barely make it. Sometimes you'll get hit and still make it over though. Let's get our way out of here. That's all the routes that are currently known for this area.
I'm a rabbit, not a core mechanic.
I'll
Okay.
show you. If you jump in here, you'll get the cutscene. You can't skip this. It's like 5 seconds wasted. And then you have to jump back in the elevator. These elevators you cannot get out of because you cannot jump through the top of them, which is the only point that doesn't have collision. So the hub elevator is currently the only one for the any percent route, at least, that you can skip. You can bug these elevators out, but it just screws with your playtime. So immediately starting here, I'm going to turn the camera and try and triple over this lady. Because she'll pretty much one-shot you. Then I'll triple jump over here. And if you jump up into this corner, there's actually water. And if you wiggle enough, it'll actually just phase right through the wall for whatever reason. From here, you can scurry down this edge without going in bounds. You can collect these snacks if you need to. There's also health here, and there's health down here. And then we'll go ahead and head upstairs to the lobby. From here, if you still need snacks and are not level 4, you can run over here. As soon as you get the text, it'll spawn snacks on the floor. 3 of them. Otherwise, if you're not level 4 by now, you're pretty much screwed. You have to be level 4, or else you're not going to do enough damage output. So to get up here, I like to run into this corner and then triple pretty much towards this first railing up here. It's kind of hard to see, but triple up towards that railing and then do a heavy hit. And the heavy hits is what's going to actually get you up. You can only get up with a heavy hit.
Oh, wait till PETA hears about this.
It is quite tricky, but if you are not comfortable with that, when we were in this previous room, I'm trying to show you an alternate way. If you were to hit this, it'll turn on all these swinging barriers and you can just climb your way up that way. And then you'll be able to use all those swings up there.
What do you say we take a break from all this breathless
You get up
destruction
here,
just,
collect this robot mouse if you need it, and then jump in the elevator. And that is lobby. Actually, there is one other thing I want to show in lobby. Something I found that's kind of hard to do and kind of RNG dependent. Well, it's timing based, but it's also RNG dependent. But I'll show you. This would actually be the fastest way of getting through here. So we'll do this again. Triple jump over her. Triple jump to the water fountain. And then jump up here. You need a triple jump or jump from the stairs. And as long as you wiggle, you'll end up getting through this. If you don't die. I'm about to kill her now. She's gonna be standing there. Alright, if you get through, if you just go into the center here, jump up to the floating Genron logo right here on this corner. And if you align your Spanx with that elevator, as soon as you see the Genron logo hitting this plane, like right now, or now, or now, where it's going flat, if you were to triple jump, you can usually make it up onto the top of this logo barely. You have to do a little correction jump at the top. If you land in the center, then you can triple jump over to the elevator.
I am a rabbit.
And from here, you can actually just clip right through the door. Cut these snacks if you need to.
Wait till Peter hears
And
about
then
this.
finish up the rest of this room. And this would actually be the fastest way to do this. That's why I've been trying to get so many snacks early game and trying to get level 4 in hub so that I don't have to collect any of those snacks in lobby and I can just do that skip.
Attention, Genron employees. Reports of
Alright,
animal
now we're
rebellion
to
are greatly
one of
exaggerated.
the
Please get back to
fun
work.
skips.
My mother was a halibut. My mother was a halibut.
Rocket skip.
My mother was a halibut.
For this, as soon as you use this, you're going to want to... I hold scurry and I'll spam X. And as soon as you see Spanx jump, you're going to want to start spamming triangle, all while still holding scurry. But as long as Spanx is up at the very peak of his jump and you hit the triangle button, I'll show you what happened. So I missed it there. He didn't jump that time. You really got to spam jump. And you got to spam it all the way up until you see him actually jump or it starts doing the actual helium animation. See there, we got it. If you keep spamming triangle after you get that, you'll hear a second voice line. And that means you got it. So if you hold slow, it's going to be kind of hard to show. The camera gets pretty buggy after you do this one time. So once you do this, if you hold slow and go towards that door, without hitting the door, you can actually go up through it, right through this area. Pretty forgiving as long as you don't go too close to the door. And then I'll follow my way around this way towards these vents. You can be going full blast, going full speed right now. As soon as I get over towards this side of the wall, I'll follow this up. Make sure that you're past the edge of these vents. That way you don't hit the collision up above us here. It's about to pop in. There'll be a room right here that pops in. You don't want to hit that. Anything from here on out, if you hit and pop, or if you pop on your own and try landing somewhere, it's gonna just straight up crash the game. So when we get to the top of this level right here, I'm gonna slow down and start moving straight away from this building. And I'm gonna align my chain with the building above us here, which is probably like a 5-10 degree angle. And we'll just follow this out, holding slow. And it'll pull us through 2 loading planes. Right there. Right there. If you're still going slow, you want to go over this. You might be able to see spawn in right there. Otherwise, you'll see the door spawn. And then you want to start going up pretty fast. And then from here, you're just going to want to hold slow. Once the door opens, move in. As soon as it says checkpoint, before you pop, because anywhere you touch in there, you will pop. As soon as it says checkpoint, go ahead and log out. There we go. Alright, so now we're in hangar. Now we're in vent. And this is this section can cripple you in a run sometimes. This is the last stretch before you get to the boss. You're going to be using these grinders. All you gotta do is just tap your stick pretty much. Just keep tapping it. You're gonna want to do a bunch of light attacks so you can end up trying killing these spiders without them killing you. Usually if you're standing still and spamming light attack, they won't get past you. You can also preemptively throw a robo mouse and try killing them through the door. One thing to note with these grinders, your camera is dependent on your joystick direction. So if I turn the camera left, I would actually have to be tapping my stick up instead of left, as it would be currently. I say that because there is visual glitches that'll make your camera start idly rotating when you're using these grinders, and you will have to fight the camera, otherwise it'll destroy your inputs. So now we destroyed all these welder bots. We can just run through this last room after we open it up. And then we'll be on our way to the boss's office. Mr. Man. Jump up here, run through the vent. If you're running out of stamina, you can triple through this and save yourself some stamina. I like to jump from this edge and triple glide over to the other edge. Sometimes I might take a heavy hit. Otherwise, if you fall down, you can just triple up onto any of these and then jump over to this side. If you were to jump straight up from this edge, you will hit your head on the ceiling, but if you jump towards the center of the room slightly, like right in here, you'll actually be able to jump through the roof. And we're going to jump through the roof and back over this way on the other side of this wall. That was a little wonky. But as long as you get in here, you're good. You start destroying the bookshelves. Extra health always right there if you need it. There's also another health in the vase, which I'll show. The vase that's over on the wall over there.
Oh, make it stop! Please make it stop!
Which I just collected. So once we get that first bookcase, we'll have to go over and get this other one, which we'll have to scale this with a triple. Another triple. Typically, if you have hyper, it's better to just not attack and let the hyper do the attacking. It gets a lot faster. But once we do that, we're just gonna clear up this whole area of any destructibles. That way it's less likely the AI gets stuck on anything. And right now we're just waiting for these skunks to go and meet up with Mr. Man. And that will start his cutscene. So we'll immediately triple jump to dodge him and go back over the fence again. Now you'll have to be fighting his camera. So you can only attack him when he is getting skunked. So when he's green, it's the only time you can attack him. You want to make sure that you're attacking at the furthest range that you can, because that's actually it gives you more attack speed when you're attacking at max range. You don't want to be right up against the wall, because he can do his little burnout skill and end up hitting you through the wall. Also, if you see him, I hope he does it, like getting ready to stomp, well, act kind of like drunken and try stomping, you'll want to jump. That way the stomp, it does like a little earthquake and end up hurting you. But for the most part, you're going to be safe on the other side of this fence. I like to pull him to this panel specifically. This panel and that big front panel work the best. This panel, he tends to get stuck and clobbered by monkeys all the time, which isn't ideal. You can always move him around and manipulate him if you need to move him closer to the skunks. Whatever you can do to get the skunks, that's when you can hit them. So as long as you can keep getting the skunks to keep doing that in rotation, it's all up to RNG from here on out. Alternatively, you can throw Robomice, and Robomice will damage him, but just note that if he is skunked right now, and I knock him over with the Robomouse AoE, that's the stomp I was talking about. If I knock him over with the AoE while he's skunked, I won't be able to hit him since he's on the ground. I'm surprised he did that twice. Yeah, sometimes the monkeys will just give up after he does that for a little bit. Just a side note, I don't like pulling in the corners. The corners are actually really bad because there's so much collision hitting around them. I end up hitting these poles. Try and move him closer to the skunks. He gets a little wonky sometimes. And sometimes if he gets too turned like that, he'll just straight clip through this glass and end up coming on this side. Which is not fun. Yeah, I really don't like this spot. Move around and try and manipulate him. The AI in this game is really, really wonky. I've had these boss fights take anywhere between 5.5 minutes to 10 minutes. And it's just all RNG dependent.
Anything but the suit. Get off from me. Anything but the suit. Get off from me.
Typically, when it gets down to about 25% here, the skunks tend to run off a lot more instead of hanging out.
The suit! Anything but the suit! Not for me! The suit! Anything but the suit!
The last hit, whenever the cutscene starts, that last hit is when the game ends. Pretty rudimentary to turn this 8 to 10 hour game into a less than 20-minute run with a couple glitches.
The suit! Anything but the suit!
And that would be time.
Did you know that weasels and rabbits are natural enemies in the wild? I'm fired.
Attention. T-minus 30 seconds to Project X liftoff.
Quickly! Everyone board the ship. Is that everyone?
Yes. No!
Now is everyone aboard the ship?
9, 8, 7,
Wait
6,
for me!
5, 4,
Come on!
3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
So that is Whiplash. Blasting off again. So this game is very dependent upon movement for one,
Dude.
but a lot of the
What?
RNG is based
Seriously?
around
Maybe we
getting
can
your
do
levels, getting your correct amount of hyper snacks early
Well,
game.
I am one hungry hare. Guess we better scare up some
And
din din, huh?
the other big
Maybe we
thing
can
would
find my
be
mother.
the boss AI.
And
A lot of
in
it's
that
RNG
world,
dependent
Weasel
most of
and
this
Rabbit
run.
were no longer enemies.
Okay. Let's do it.
And so it was that the mighty corporation fell, and the animals took their rightful place among the stars. And you yourself felt satisfaction brought about by an artificial resolution of a conflict. God willing, you will tell your friends to purchase this game. Or let's be honest, just let them borrow it. And in doing so...
Oh, will you shut up already? I'm getting a migraine.